Stay ahead with Salam Media. This is Salam Media coming to you live from South Africa.
Welcome back to the Nafeesa Dangor Show, and that was a very interesting, inspirational talk with Rainer Habler from Rainer Medical, and definitely making milestones as far as oxygen therapy is concerned. But on to talking about making milestones, we have a 22-year-old. His name is Colin Mkosi. He launched a local home delivery service in Langa in February. And he thought it would take at least a year to get the brand established in the community. Fast forward 3 months, and Cloudy Deliveries is the most popular delivery service in Langa. Residents request grocery and takeaway deliveries via WhatsApp or a phone call, and the young delivery men actually go out and deliver all the goods to them. But I think this is amazing because it started in Feb, and then in March, April, we had this lockdown and all the problems. So I think it came at the right time. And online, I have with me Colin Mkosi, the founder of Cloudy Deliveries, and one of his employees, Songezo Kuze. A very good afternoon to you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me on the Nafeesa Dangor Show this afternoon. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Having a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for having us on the show.
The pleasure is ours, and you all the way in Langa in Cape Town, where of course you have sunshine and we have loads of rain down here. So, not much of a fun Thursday we're having, in the sense that it's flooding everywhere in Johannesburg. But thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. Let's talk to you, Colin, about this concept that you came up with. And I think, of course, it came at the right time, and you didn't realize it then when you started it in February.
Well, I didn't realize it then. I had the idea to start Cloudy Deliveries, since 2019. And then last year, 2020, in February, I started off. And then March, the lockdown hit us. And since the lockdown hit us, the business has been doing very well. I think the lockdown has had a positive impact on our business. Yeah.
Most definitely. I mean, because if you look at it, people actually needed access to their daily amenities, like their breads and their milks and their groceries and things like that. And of course, there was no movement allowed and having to go stand in queues. So it actually eased things off in many directions for people, where you created that gap for them, where it was, convenient for them to actually get a hold of you and get their deliveries done right to their doorstep.
Yeah, I think we have created, convenience for a lot of people, because also helped them through the lockdown, because a lot of people were reluctant to go outside when the lockdown hit us, or the COVID-19 hit us. So we kind of, closed that gap of people being scared, and they just requested us to go to their house and send us to any shop, and we came back with the groceries and stuff. So it to a certain extent, it also kept people out of the streets, Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, because it allowed that. Talk to us about your startup. I mean, I'm sure you had to, of course, set about some capital to be able to start those bicycles going, because as we know, Cloudy Deliveries delivers through bicycle, which is actually easier. It's efficient in the sense that you don't have to worry about that fuel factor. But how did you manage to actually start yourself up?
During 2019, I was working part-time at Old Mutual. So I used to get paid weekly. So some of the money that I got, I used to save. And then once I saved enough money, so I used to go, I went around, in my township looking for bicycles. So I used to buy second-hand bicycles for 150. The highest amount of money that I paid for a bicycle was around 350. So once I collected enough bicycles, and then in February 2020, I started off. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I see you have a flat rate that you charge the people in your area. Does it cover your expenses?
I think, when we started off, it covered our expenses. It still does, but we also looking to increase it a bit. A lot of people have been asking us to increase it, maybe take it to 12 Rand or 15 Rand. So maybe in the near future we'll do that. But at the moment we'll stay at 9 Rand. Yeah.
Yeah, and it still creates that affordability where it's not that expensive for people to be able to get access to their groceries without having to leave their homes as such. Saying Songezo, What does
Yes,
it
ma'am.
mean for you? I mean, such a young age, getting employed, getting empowered in some way, having to be able to get on this bicycle and create, should we say, an easy environment for people. What does it mean for you being in that particular space? How did you get involved with Colin?
So um, I was doing matric last year, and I still haven't gotten my marks because they like currently still marking our papers. So I spoke to him, and then he gave me the job, and it's been an amazing and a great pleasure to be a part of the team because it means a lot. It gives me something to look forward to the next morning. Means because it also helps give back to the community. So everything is just, and it's lots of fun. You get to meet new people. It's very exciting. You never know what to really expect. So it's just a great challenge, I guess.
Mm-mm. And what does it mean from a point of view where like you can reach out to the elderly? I mean, a lot of the times that's where the problem comes in. A lot of the elderly
Yes.
people have no access in some way. They don't. I don't think a lot of them even have WhatsApp or telephone as such. So they have a normal cell phone, and I see you also have a number that they can send all their things to you. But tell me, what does it mean for you knowing that you can go out there? There's this old person that you're helping that has no access to be able to go out or maybe take a taxi and go into the township and buy all their daily needs.
Just it goes back to what I was saying. Like it's a great feeling knowing that you're doing something that helps uplift the community and gives back. And like it's because you know that maybe someone that you're helping is not old enough and does not have the amount of strength they need. So like it's a good thing that, and it leaves me with a good feeling knowing that I can help and be there when people need help and so on type of thing. So yeah, it's very much a great pleasure.
Colin, back to you. I find something very interesting. Your youngest team member is 12 years old, Olwetu.
Mm.
And he's the team's bicycle mechanic, which I find so interesting because he's 12 years of age, and he's the one that's actually the fixer there. And of course, he's making sure that your bikes are roadworthy and ready for the boys to drive safely, and that they ride out there safely. What does it mean for you knowing that there's a 12-year-old that has so much of potential? So I think you found him, but it's having to empower him in some way to make him understand that he has some form of a potential in that particular field.
It's been great working with him. When he started off, he just came to me and he offered himself to do, fix bicycles and stuff. And he's been committed and dedicated to the project. Since we started from day one, he's been around, until now. And what amazes me the most with him is his commitment and dedication to the project and wanting to push the project forward. So. For me to work with him is great, and helping him realize his potential and what he can achieve maybe in the near future when he grows a bit older. Yeah.
Yeah, but it hasn't stopped there because I see you also, especially during this COVID-19 period, have looked after your team as such by following the health and safety guidelines. You've reached out by giving them the masks, the hand sanitizer. So, when they go out there, they're quite safe and they're not going to put themselves in the front line of trouble. So it's nice to see that you've thought of that concept as well, protecting them while they're going out and doing the job as such. Let's talk about, yes, carry on.
I think that's one of the most important things, during the COVID is to keep the team, safe and protected by having, hand sanitizers as well as masks, and it's also to protect our clients, the ones that we serve mostly.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think the thing is, when you go out there and it's with the professionalism as well, I think people appreciate that more because you're going to their door, but the necessary has been done. The guidelines have been followed. And I think it puts that trust in them to know that they can use Cloudy Deliveries, because Cloudy Deliveries is following all the protocols necessary. Let's talk about you expanding on your business. I know starting off it was just getting normal amenities to people, such as their groceries and all the little things that they needed. But now I see you expanding yourself into of course, the restaurants and the takeaway outlets where you create this delivery as well. So I think that's really nice, because the thing is, a lot of the time, sometimes people are not in the mood to actually just cook something, or they would like to get a takeaway, and you kind of make it convenient for them.
So we are now also working with local restaurants, whereby we do deliveries for them. I think we have worked with restaurants that helped us a lot. I think it has also helped grow our business. Their clients have now become our clients. So it has really helped us a lot, and also helped them, because when the level 3, I think, or level 4, people are not allowed to sit down in the restaurant. So people order more. So if we are there, it really helps us a lot. Yeah.
It's nice to see that a law student has actually gotten so creative with, with something else. So it goes to show that I don't think we recognize all our potentials until we're faced with something like, should we say, COVID, where you start then getting more innovative. But you started this prior. But I think it's a phenomenal thing that you're doing. It's nice to see you reaching out to the people in your area and creating that conveniences that they're looking for. Because, I mean, sometimes people are so busy at work, they don't have that extra time to go out and buy the necessities that they need. Or it becomes a bit of a burden because they're on their way home and they think, oh, goodness, I ran out of bread or milk or whatever it may be, and I still need to stop and do that. Whereas they know they can just give you a shot and then it's all going to happen. So how long does it take you to actually deliver in your area?
I think maybe it depends on how far the delivery is, but I think it probably takes maybe 10 minutes, but I think Songezi will know that more because he's doing the deliveries. Yeah.
Where do you see your business heading to? I mean, it's so nice to see that you're pursuing your passion of law, but at the same time, you've come up with something really innovative and convenient, and you fill that gap in your area where there was something that was like this that was really required.
I think, we want to grow the business to other places as well, go to other townships, given the impact that it has, in Langa. So we also thinking that, it might have the same impact, in other areas as well. So, the impact, of young people, impacting young people's lives, and maybe creating convenience for people in the community, especially elderly people who cannot go to the shops and stuff. Yeah. So we want to expand to other places as well.
And also, I think what's really nice about it is that you empower youth, people that are finding it difficult to actually get employed and empowered in some way. So in that sense, it's such a great initiative, because what's happening is you're reaching out to the young people in your area, to the youth, and creating that empowerment. So I think it's such a nice role that's happening where other communities can start following in what you do, to be able to also empower their youth as such.
That has been also one of our biggest aims, is to have impact in young people's life, and also give them the foundation, for the future, because, the people that I work with, the young people that I work with might be the next entrepreneurs. They might come up with the next solutions and stuff, so providing that environment for them to be able to think, of innovative ideas, and think of how to provide solutions to the problems that we are currently facing in our communities. It's awesome. Yeah.
What sort of challenges have you had?
So most of the challenges, we faced when we started off, because the bicycles that we used were secondhand bicycles, and then after some time, we got new bicycles, which has made life much easier for us. So, and also it was basically that, and also now that the team is expanding and we are growing, so we need a much bigger space, because the one that we have now at the moment is becoming smaller and smaller as the team grows.
So, Geza, what has this meant for you? I mean, it's so nice to see you go out there. What sort of experiences have you had going to people's homes when they know that you're going there and you're creating these conveniences for them? What's it like seeing those smiles on those people's faces?
It's a good feeling, I can tell you that. Because people sometimes come back from work and they're really tired because they work of 9 to 5. and they can't take all their groceries home. So me knowing I can be there when they're powerless or don't necessarily have the strength they need at that time, it means a lot. And I mean, the person also is also supporting me, so it's kind of like a mutual understanding. So that interaction that I have with the customers or our clients, it brings a great relationship, and it allows me to love the job I do and gives me more commitment, and it's just all around a good feeling.
You spoke about you just wrote your matric. What do you intend pursuing after this?
Um, I'm not necessarily too sure. So I'm just also hoping that in the time that I'm being here, I can get enough ideas or something to do while I'm waiting for my results to come back, and then hopefully I can apply and maybe study something. But I'm not willing to like take a gap year and not necessarily do something because it's really
But
tough.
I think what's great about it is Colin is actually giving yourself the
Yes, sir.
opportunity to empower
Mm-hmm.
yourself firstly, and secondly, I think to get experience business wise, to understand how business works, what it's made of, what is expected of you. So he's kind of bridging that gap for you, so that when you do go into the business environment at some point, you have at least some form of experience behind you on certain things and how it works.
Yes, ma'am.
So what does it mean for you?
Um, it means a lot because I'm also hoping that in the time when my results come back, if I don't get accepted into an institution, maybe I can use the experience that I've gotten from here into getting a job or something that can help me expand my roots into career wise even further. So it means a lot. It's very helpful and very much appreciated.
Colin, I'm actually blown away. It's so nice to see that youth empowerment is taking place, and I think our president talks about that time and again. But it's about being proactive in your community as well to be able to create those opportunities, and you've done just that. What does it mean for you to know that you've taken a young person and taught them such certain, and I'm going to say life skills, because with this business environment, you learn a lot of life skills as well. So it teaches you to bridge that gap. What does that mean for you?
It's been a great feeling, knowing that you live for young people, you live, for the community, you add value in people's lives, you're making a difference, in the community and the people that you work with, So it's been a great feeling for me. It gives me something, to be proud of. Yeah.
What message would you like to leave our viewers with this afternoon?
It's to keep on going. I think the time that we're currently facing, it's very tough for everyone. But you need to be strong and keep on going. It will pass, and you will come out a bit stronger.
So there's a
Yes,
very
ma'am.
difficult matric this year. How did you manage? Because I mean, a lot of the times your classes were disrupted. There was no school. It
Yes,
must have
ma'am.
been a very, very difficult, challenging year for you.
It was definitely a very challenging time. Even in terms of when we were writing, there was like we had to have a court case because there wasn't any full on conclusion in terms of whether we were going to write or not rewrite. So even towards the end, it was just really difficult. Hence why they're still marking now, and our marks are only coming in towards the end of February. But
Yeah.
I guess I can say I'm certainly grateful and happy that I'm finally done. It was a very long journey and very challenging. Lots of surprises and unexpected things came out, but I've made it through.
Most definitely, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank
Both
you.
gentlemen, you are doing a phenomenal job with things. Colin, it's amazing to see that, as I said, you've reached out to the youth and empowering them, but you've also gone further and trying to expand on that business. Besides, of course, doing your law degree. So we wish you also nothing but the best going forward. It's we're hoping that other people look at your concept and try and incept it in their communities, knowing that it creates this, should we say, connection, and it makes life so much more convenient for people. and it also empowers others at the same time. So thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. It was a very interesting conversation, learning about the types of things that you're doing in your area. So thank you so much. Have a very good afternoon, and do take care of yourself. And so, Geza, we're waiting for those results, and we wish you nothing but the best of success. So do keep us in touch with that. Eh? And Claudia, we're looking forward to hearing from you about your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
The pleasure was mine. Thank you so much. A very good afternoon to you too.
Thank you, ma'am.
And that was Colin Nkosi and Songeza Kuze from Cloudy Deliveries, talking about their experiences and how they've been bridging the gap through COVID-19 now to be able to create conveniences for people in their area. We're going to go for a quick break. Do stay with us. We'll be back with something more interesting.